Hey everybody, get everything going here. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Don't think anybody's in yet. There we go. I think we got good volume. So if you weren't in last week, I was able to hopefully fix all of my previous volume problems. So we should hear the mic. Should be plenty of sound. Just gonna do one thing here real quick. Going to show you some cool warm-up techniques tonight, and we'll get back into the modes a little bit. Got a little a loop prepared just to kind of go through a 1-4-5 progression in a major key. Still haven't figured out how to make all these social media things work together, but I'm getting there. Hire a consultant. All right. What's up, Sam? You need to put up a picture of your new guitar. Or one of your new guitars. There we go. Kind of messes with me watching these two monitors, because the one I see over here is a direct feed. The YouTube over here is about 30 seconds behind, so I have to very consciously not look at that one, or it messes with my playing pretty hard. Again, tonight, the old-fashioned. Playing my Fender Pro Plus Telly tonight. Another guitar that is a victim of me working at my own music. Because they come in, either I buy them or Sam buys them, or Luke. Luke takes his fair share of them home too. But very cool guitar. Had Lambertone blondes in it when I got it, and I took the bridge pickup out, left the neck pickup. It was great. But I put a DiMarzio Chopper T, like Kotzen uses in the bridge. A little more bite. I've got my Nash Telly if I want more of a traditional Telly tone, but I kind of want a rock and roll Telly. But this is a very cool guitar. So, I'm just going to warm up for a minute. I'm going to play this loop that I created. It's just 3 chords, E, A, and D. Pretty simple. It's not really a 1-4-5. It's more of a 1-5-4. But I'm just going to play over that for a minute and get warmed up. And then I'll show you how I do some of the stuff in it. Fix that, because that sounds a little low. Just a second, I gotta turn it up. that's kind of the lick. It's just A major, E major, D major, and back to A major. And we'll kind of get into that a little later, but I'm going to show you a couple of cool warm-ups. Because that's something I think a lot of guitar players forget to do, and I know I do sometimes, and I can tell as soon as I start playing that, oh crap, I should have done something. Every teacher I've ever had has said the guitar is a muscle, or playing the guitar uses a muscle. And it's these in this arm. Anytime you lift weights, anytime you do anything, you try to stretch out. I've got a few just basic exercises I do, and I was playing an A major, so we're going to stick with A major on this. It's the A major scale. It's that scale, but we're going to play it in a different order. This will also help you when you get into the modes part of it. We're going to start it on the C sharp and play C sharp and then go back to the A where we normally, your root note. So back to our C sharp. Then the next sequence, we're going to play the D first, and we're going to go back to our B. So from the beginning, it's then we'll start the next sequence with E, C sharp, B, E. And you can kind of see the pattern that it's following. You move up a note and you come back 2 notes. Oops. It's more confusing than it looks at first. After you get it under your fingers, it's not real bad. And it'll help you with some of the licks that you do. Especially when you get into the modes, if you remember those little things you do there, like when you start on the D note, you can use that in a solo. Same thing with the E, the A. You'll be able to use those. It is a great warm-up technique, but it also can help you out with your solo. And I like to, a lot of times I'll start it as low on the neck as I can get, usually in F sharp. And I'll just move it up the fretboard. And sitting down, it's a lot easier to get way up. When you're standing up before a show and your guitar is hanging a little bit lower, these upper frets, it gets hard to get those stretches in. But I wear mine a little bit higher so I can still kind of get those. But I'm going to go through this again. Start on the 3rd note of your major scale. So this time I'm going to do numbers instead of giving you notes. So every note corresponds to a number. We've talked about that before. A is 1, B is 2, C sharp 3, D 4, and so on. So you're going to go 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's your basically your progression. You'll hit a note, start on the 3, come back 2, back to the 3. Go to your 4, come back 2. Go to your 5, come back 2. Go to your 6, come back 2. You can do it coming down too. Usually have other ones I do for coming down sometimes, but this one is the one I've found that gets my arm warmed up the best. Because I can always tell when I start playing if I didn't warm up at least a little bit. You'd think working in a guitar store I would warm up all day long, but there's days I don't really get to play guitar. I touch a lot of guitars and I tune a lot of guitars, but I don't really get to play a lot of guitars. So sometimes you get to a gig on a Friday night and I start playing and it's wait a minute, everything ain't working right. But if I do some kind of runs and exercises, it helps me out a lot, and you can get them a lot, build them up like that. Get your alternate picking going. You could hammer those on if you want to. I like to alternate pick it because I'm always working on alternate picking. I can't get it as fast as I would like to. Go guys like Joe Bonamassa, Andy Wood, their alternate pick is amazing. Especially Andy, his alternate picking is just on a different level. It's both play guitar and play the guitar. Or we'll get Asheville Crunchy Hippie on you and say, let the guitar play you, man. I love Asheville, though. It's always dependable. Smelly people playing drums, patchouli and marijuana wafting through the air. Good beer at the Wicked Weed Tap House. And great shows at the Orange Peel. Speaking of great shows at the Orange Peel, Mammoth, Ed's boy, Wolfie, is going to be there in March. Still need to get tickets for that. Other concerts coming around you might want to know about. Greg Koch. Yes, so 3-2-3-4, 4-2-3-4, 5-2-3-4, or 3-2. Play any note you select. Play that note and then back up 2. So if I'm on 5, I go back to 3, 4, 5. If I'm on 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. Not all of them, or not all of them. Some of them actually enjoy it, and I don't really understand it. But talking about the aspiring guitar players who gave up. No, I've played some very good bass players. I've played with some very bad bass players, but I've played with some very good ones. Still do play with a very good one. 2 if we want to get technical. So any of you guys who are around Kingsport, Bristol, Johnson City area, myself and Sam Strong, who is commenting on here, our band will be at the Kingsport Moose Lodge this Saturday night, 8 o'clock. Going to try new songs if I can remember what we played at practice Saturday night. So we had a good practice, had a lot of fun, worked up some new stuff. So we'll see what happens. But and on any of this stuff, especially this one right here, if anybody wants tabs to this, I don't have the Patreon up and going yet. But this one, if anybody does want tabs to it, I'm sure you all either have my number on text, or you can hit me up on Facebook, or leave a message here. All of that good stuff. And I can get you tabs to that. It's no big deal. And like I said, move it all around the neck. More places you can do it, the more it opens you up to doing different licks. This one is the weird one, and Sam actually got a head start on this one because I let him hear it the other night. This one's kind of messed up, and it messes with you pretty hard at first. I'm gonna turn the delay off here so you can hear exactly what I'm doing. All right, this one is really weird. This is a chromatic workout. All you're playing, each finger has to stay in a fret. first finger stays in the 5th fret. You can pick any fret you want, but again, I'm just going out of A because that's where I've been playing tonight. So, index finger in the 5th fret, middle finger in the 6th, ring finger in the 7, pinky in the 8. Keep them in those frets. Don't. You're going to want to play licks when you're doing this because it lends itself to it, but don't do it. Keep them in those frets, and this will frustrate you because it did me. If it doesn't frustrate you, holler at me. I'd like to take a few lessons off of you. But here's what it is. This time we're starting on the 2nd note. Like I said, we're in chromatic now, so don't even think about the major scale. This is just... Those are the notes we're using, up and down. So get used to those fingers being in those frets. Now, play your A sharp first, and then play your A. So, and then play your B, and then play your A sharp, and then your C, and your B. So it's... And then you move to the next string. So you got to go from your D back up to your C. And you continue that pattern. I'd say it's a tongue twister, but you're using your fingers. But it's a tongue twister. And then you go back down, and it's the same concept going back down, except we know our pinky is in this fret. So we're going to start in the 7th fret on our B note. Go from the B to the C, then A sharp to B, A to A sharp, G to A, F sharp to G, and so forth. It'll mess with you after a little, and if you can get it really, and that's another really good one for alternate picking, or the way I was shown it done, and I'm doing it with alternate picking because that's where I really need to work. He was doing it legato, or just hammer-ons and pull-offs, and I'm not as good at that, but he was... a lot harder. I'm still working on my legato. I want to be Joe Satriani so bad I can't stand it, but that one's just not in my wheelhouse yet. There's a few little licks I can hit here and there, but that's one of the things I'm really working on. And as always, try starting 1 fret behind each time you change up a string. Yeah. And you can make inversions of this yourself. You can take it and turn some of these, like especially the starting on the 3 and then playing 1, 2, 3. You can take an A major arpeggio, take the 3rd note of that arpeggio. If we're playing A, C sharp, E, play 3. That's the same as it's the first 3 notes we're going to play. Here it's the scale. Here it's the arpeggio. So you can take that exercise and apply it, all over the place if you want to. You could even mix the two if you wanted to, and go. See, I'd have to work on that. I've been doing it in twos for so long it messes with my head. They're two totally separate exercises, and mixing them does not work. Yeah, hammer-ons and pull-offs. It will definitely strengthen your hand. It's just not something I've ever really done a lot. I've been more blues rock. I mean, everybody who knows me knows that. If y'all like the little warm-up things there, I got a few others that we might pop in every now and then. But, excuse me. But like I said, those licks, you can turn those into licks inside a song. Let me change my tone up just a little bit here, where I can play a little bit of lead. Something like that, Brett. Yeah. Turn my delays back on. A little bit of oomph. Alright. Hopefully that does the trick. Now I'm going to be playing just in the A major scale. I will be using some bends, but I'll be using there, down here, some of it up here. So I'll be moving the A major scale all around the neck, but I'll just be playing in A major essentially. 3 modes. The loop that I had there at the very beginning, some of y'all were here and heard it. The loop is A major, and then it goes to an E major, and then it goes to a D major. I was trying to keep it a little more simple. I was asking a few people what they liked about the lesson when I see them in person and what they would like to see better, and one of them was talking about when we did the modes last week. I kind of turned the fire hydrant on and just blew all the water at you at one time instead of just giving you a drink. So I was going to slow it down a little bit and just take 3 modes, and the 3 modes that I'm going to use are the first, which is your A, and then our mode that starts on our D note, or our E note, I'm sorry, and then our mode that starts on our D note. 3 modes. And what I'm going to do with those, I can just play a straight A major solo over all of it, every bit of it, and just keep it in the basic A major, rooted in that A. But it's not going to sound quite as good. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn this looper on, and I'm just going to play a really, really basic, not basic necessarily, but a solo that where I don't ever really leave the first mode of A, and I'm staying primarily in that. So let me turn. And a solo like that'll work. I'm not going to say a solo like that can't work, because you can get a lot of mileage over those notes, especially if you throw in a lot of the bends. You can get a lot of that. But what I'm going to try to do this time and I may mess it up, but what I'm going to try to do this time is, when I'm in A, I'm really going to focus on the A note, the E note, and that C sharp. Those are notes I'm going to try to hang on in that A. When I go to the E, I'm going to try to play the E, the B, and that G sharp. Because when you're playing in the A form, you very rarely play that G sharp. As guitar players, I think we're just predisposed. If we're playing in A, we want to go and be in that G, be in that minor form. Instead of, it just doesn't feel like as, I don't know. But the E, the B, and the G sharp. When I go to the D, I'm going to focus on the D, the A, and the F sharp. I'll play other notes in there with it, but my landing point is going to be one of those three notes, one of the major arpeggio, the major chord, the 1, 3, 5. Those are the three notes I'm looking for anytime I change. So let me restart this. I'm going to play one time through in just a basic A position. Second time through, I'll switch and start playing on the mode positions. All right, so here we go. Let's see how this goes. If I mess it up, I'll start over again. That's the beauty of live. You know it's not faked. And if I faked it and it sounded like this, I'd give up. All right, let's give this a shot. So hopefully the second one sounded a little bit better than the first one. Like I said, the first one I don't think there's anything wrong with, just a straight solo like that. But being able to add in, especially when you find those double stops, like on the E, and I'm playing that E chord there. Two of my notes are E and G sharp. So I come up here and find E and G sharp. And then I just slide back 2 frets for the and I've got my notes for the D. Another good thing to do when you're in these is within that scale there are notes that are only half a step apart, and really accenting those notes can make it stand out. It's going to be your A and your G sharp, your D and your C sharp. So if you can really use those notes, especially when they happen to fall into the chord that you're using, the C sharp, we know that one, that's in our A. There's your C sharp and your D again. So if you find that, go anywhere. We're starting out on an E, or a D, sorry. Find a C, a D. Oops. You can move that lick all over the entire neck. And in that second solo, you probably, hopefully caught, I went to threw just a little bit of that exercise into it. So like I said, it's not just a warm-up exercise. You can also use it in these scales. And it'll give you something good to work on. So, anybody got questions about any of the stuff we talked about tonight, or anything cool going on in the music world I should know about that I probably don't hear about because I'm in a cave and in a music store, and everything we listen to is usually from like 1984 back, but not totally. We listen to some new stuff. Like I said, shows this weekend. We are out at the Moose in Kingsport. Offhand, another one I know you should go see next Wednesday night at Delta Blues in Abingdon. The Goodson Brothers. I told you about those guys last week. They are going to be playing at Delta Blues in Abingdon on a Wednesday night from 6 to 8. So if you get a chance, go up there, check out the new Foo Fighters. It's awful. I don't think I've heard the new Foo Fighters yet. I'll have to listen to that when I get off of here tonight. I have some other videos to record. Try to start getting some more content up here for everybody. And y'all can let me know. I'm going to keep this going every Wednesday night, but I may start just here and there hopping on Facebook and doing little short ones, 10 minutes or something. If I find a cool lick I like, I'll pop on just for 10 minutes and show it to you. Some of it may take place in the kitchen. There is a video coming on that. I purchased a kitchen guitar, which is a guitar you keep in your kitchen at all times, and you should all have one. If you don't, tell your wife you need one. And because, you probably, if you're a musician, you're cooking some for yourself because your wife might have to have the real job and she's not home, and you got to have supper ready when she gets there. Or you're single. That's probably the most likely. Or the third option, you have a wife who could burn water on a cold stove. That's possible too. Anyway, you're probably doing some cooking. So I bought a guitar. I don't have it in here with me because it's hanging in the kitchen. But killer guitar. I'll bring it in here one night and show it to her. It'll be on the video. But bought a PRS CE24 in the SE series. I think at Christmas time they were running them like 20% off. And I think I got it was under $600, if I remember right. I could be wrong on that, but I think it was under $600. And it's a killer guitar because I normally play the PRS CE24, which is behind my head. Right with some of this, Paul. This side. But But killer guitar, if you don't have one, you can keep it in the kitchen. I keep that, a Yamaha THR-10 amp, and a cheap little Nux wireless system, and I practice guitar while I'm cooking at night. There's probably therapy for that somewhere, but I'm not going to look for it. So I have a guitar for almost every room of the house now. Nothing in the bathroom yet. I'm thinking about putting a banjo in there, but I traded my banjo. Actually, I traded the banjo for the PRS kitchen guitar. So, but everybody, go get you a kitchen guitar. Yeah, I wouldn't want to touch a bathroom guitar. Somebody else's bathroom guitar. And I don't think the wife would dig a bathroom guitar. I do own a hurdy-gurdy. I could put that. Those of you who know what a hurdy-gurdy is are probably questioning why you're friends with me now. But I do have a hurdy-gurdy. That might be a really good one to put in the bathroom. It sounds like something you'd hear in Young Frankenstein. Speaking of Young Frankenstein, Mel Brooks, they are coming out with Spaceballs 2. I hope it's as good as the first one. I don't think Mel Brooks would do it if it wasn't. But so, once again, guys, if you don't care, hit the like button on there. Even if you didn't, hit the don't like. Responses are cool. If you didn't like it, leave a message. Tell me what you didn't like. And I'll try to fix it. So, but like I said, we'll be here every Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Last week I forgot to post it on Facebook, but I'll try to remember to post it every week. And all of them are archived on YouTube. You can go back if you want to see any of this or any of the stuff that I was doing there. If you want tabs to anything right now, I will be happy to tab those out for you and get it over to you. So if you do want them, let me know, and I'll get them to you. Or you can just, like I say, YouTube. If you've never used it, you've got some settings down there where those little dots are at. And I think that's where, no, it's in settings. You got to scroll over your screen in settings. You can slow stuff down to like half speed. I do it all the time learning solos. It's a wonderful tool. But slow it down to half speed, and I'm sure you can pick it up. You probably can pick it up. Most of y'all, I know most of you all in here can just look at what I did and do it. And it may not have been anything new to you, but they are really good, I think, finger exercises. I do them all the time. You can sit right on the couch and do those too. And the hammer-on thing, it'll make your hammer-ons and pull-offs better. I don't know. The legato thing just never has worked for me. Maybe that's what I need to take lessons on. But anyway, and just so you know that that little thing came from Andy Wood, if I didn't say that earlier. And I don't remember who he said he got it from. I still take lessons from him, and that's the first thing he did one day. He's like, hey man, I never show you exercises, but here's a cool exercise. So if he thinks it's a cool exercise, I figure it's probably a pretty cool exercise to pass on to you guys. So anything you want to see me cover, hopefully kind of slowing those modes down and actually focusing on the 1, the 3, and the 5 in each mode helped a little bit. If you want to see more like that, let me know. If you like the theory stuff, let me know. We can go deeper into theory. Here and there, I don't want to bog everything down with theory, because I do want to get into doing some just, let's take a cool lick and turn it into something that it wasn't already. So anything y'all want to see, let me know. Holler at me at the store or shoot me a message on Facebook, Instagram. If you're not already a friend on Facebook or Instagram, shoot me something, or a follower, I guess I should say now. But give me a shout. Anything you want to see, anything you don't want to see, tips, suggestions, insults, all are welcome. So, Goodson Brothers, yeah, there you go, Sam. All right, guys, you all have a good night. I am going to go fix some dinner, and I will see phrasing. Oh, God. All right, we'll get into some phrasing maybe next week. All right, guys, I will see you all next week, and have a good night.